Okay, let's just go through the program. Like I said, it's a nine box method, but it's essentially three chunks that we're going to go through. The first chunk is all about reconnecting people back to the vision, values, and the behaviors. Now, for some it's reconnection, for some it might feel sort of new, I think, because we've got some new team members. So we'll kick off with a welcome, connection, and team task. Normal staff, welcome folks, make them excited, we're thrilled to have them there, all that type of good stuff. But what I would like to do is give everyone straight off the bat a team task. Now Anne can do a contextualization, or Chelsea, or you can, and build up the significance and the importance of what we're going to do in the hour and a half or 2 hours together. But then what I want to do is I want to wherever I am and wherever the other teams are, is to create a little facilitated session where people get the vision, the values, and the behaviors, and they've got to create something on the back of it. And at the moment, with a lot of these activities, I haven't really dropped down into the detail. I would like to get consent on the principles and the process and the flow and the content, the structure. Then I can drop down into the detail and make the activities engaging and all that type of stuff, which I do. But I don't want to put 1,000,001 hours into making something really robust, but it's not meeting the need, if you know what I mean. So with this, with the vision, the values, and behaviors piece, I want them to create a visual representation of the combined content, so it tells a story. It might be a mural, or it might be something different. I'm not sure yet, but I want people to bring it alive in a creative way, so that the discussions we have in the 15 minutes it takes to do the task makes people very clear on the vision. It makes them very clear on what the values are. It makes it also very clear what are the behaviors that bring the vision to life, so that, you know, we don't have to preach, we don't have to show them, we don't have to remind them of anything. It's already there in place. So that's the first tier. The first tier is vision, values, and behaviors. The second tier is when we start to now connect it and bring it into the real world. I've called it the 3 foundations of our new service ethic. And basically the 3 foundations are the functions, it's also the application, and lastly is the enablement. And what I want to do is create a bit of a transformational story for folks so that they can see the difference in the way that they're going to be serving the customers. So we're going to go from using a model which I call just from and to. You know, we're going from this to that, and whatever from is, we're going to have a look at how it transforms into a space of that. And just to give you some sort of background to it, so when I talk about function is really clearly what we provide. You know, what we used to provide as a HR service, for instance, from being a case manager, if you like, or someone that is a HR partner, to, and then we define what the new reality is. And we're also going to have a look at what impact that's going to have on their customer base based on what they're used to experiencing to what they need to experience. And then we're going to apply that across the board, from function to the application. And the application is essentially the value that people get from the service. And then the enablement part about it is how we can help do this in a better way. So we're springboarding off that, from this to that. The function, the application of what the value is, and then the enablement of what it does and the value it brings into the business, how we can help do it in a better way. Now, in terms of the activity, I'm a bit flaky. I'll be completely transparent, but what I need to do is just spend a couple of hours outlining and designing how it could work in a really great way across the board with the HR team together in different locations, and also with enough time, which we've got tons of time, we can prepare a really great robust activity with materials and all that type of stuff, so that people get it and they can share it in amongst their teams that they're with at the time. And then, so if that's the second tier, the third tier is a bit of a sort of a workshop around what I call change choice and principles. And what I want to work on is just to remind people of, when we're going through change, these are the things that happen. And the things around the change piece, what I'd like to do is I want to share with them what I would call the 6 enemies of change. So rather than saying here's a great model, here's a great, I don't want to do any of that type of stuff. That came through loud and clear on the telephone call last week. But what I would like to do is just share what the enemies of change are, so that when we start to see it, we can identify it and start to work with it through making better choices and using the principles that will bring great change to life. I won't go through the 6 principles in any detail, but the ones that I'm working on, the ones that I've written down and scoped out around the enemies. Number 1 is availability, making sure that we're available and people know where we are. Number 2, ignorance. People don't know anything about what's changing, and they're ignorant to it. It's an enemy to them. 3 is I've written committees, but I really mean sort of like quorums, where it makes the whole process of change and transformation clunky and really thick and stodgy. What else have I created here? I've created comfort. We're too comfortable doing it this way, so I won't change anyway. Momentum is the 5th enemy of change, where we don't get any momentum. It's quite stuck in a rut, if you like. And the last thing is passivity, where, you know, it's just easier for me to just sit back and let things happen and not be in control of the change. So I've got that little piece around just the 6 enemies of change. And then when I talk about choice, what I'd want to do is just share with people 2 little great skills that help people be able to win. One is what I call the Zorro principle, and the other is what I call the 20-second rule. Again, really nice little just energizing ways to be able to help sustain and create great change through making better choices. And the last piece is principles, and the principles essentially are our values. I wanted to just do a little piece on that to bring it up to life around how it can help us drive better behaviors and help our customers, our internal customers if you like, do better work, do great work in fact. And then lastly, as we come out of that, so we've had our 9 boxes of vision, mission, values, and then we've done the 3 service ethics of function, application, and enablement. Then we've done our change, choice, principles. There's our 9 boxes all together. It's really quite simple, quite a straightforward format. It's not a model, so hope no one gets freaked out about that. Then we can just do a nice little closing session to bring it all together, fire people up, put a big rumbling fire in their belly, and then it'd be great if I did a close-out piece to a call for order, but also just a call for, it's a challenging time, but it could be a really great time, and the choice is ours, and that's the fundamental thing. It's all about our choices. I could probably go into this forever, for hours, talking about all the different components and stuff like that, but I'm conscious I just want to give you a flavor and give you a taste or a touch of it. We've gone around the houses a few times on what would be a really good program, but I think this would be a good investment of time with the people, and it'd be a really great workshop. And I know that if in principle this has got the stature and the foundation of something that could really work, we could really develop it into being something really quite, I want to say sexy, but it's something that's really